The transformation at Rangers Football Club is in full swing, and there's no sign of it slowing down anytime soon. What we're witnessing at Ibrox this summer is not just a typical transfer window. It's a complete overhaul, a bold attempt to reshape the squad from back to front under the leadership of Russell Martin. And at the heart of this evolution is a defense that's being rebuilt piece by piece, with the latest development hinting at another major piece being locked in very soon. As the manager puts his identity on the side, every new face arriving through the doors of Auchenhowie feels like a step towards something more coherent, more aligned with Martin's footballing philosophy. It's no surprise then that a fresh defensive deal is reportedly nearing completion. This wouldn't just be another name added to the squad sheet. This could be the kind of reinforcement that signals a real change in how Rangers will line up and defend in the season ahead. The backline, once a source of inconsistency and concern, is being systematically upgraded. With new personnel, new energy, and new tactical demands, the expectation is that Rangers will look far more solid and dynamic defensively in the coming months. Russell Martin is not messing about. His words after the preseason draw against Club Brugge were telling. He warned that the squad would look very different in a matter of weeks. And that's exactly what's happening. The latest incoming is said to be Jeremy Gassama, more commonly known as JGA, a young defender from Wolves who is reportedly closing in on a season-long loan move to Glasgow. At just 22 years of age, JGA arrives with plenty of promise and a hunger to prove himself at a club where the pressure is constant and the expectations are sky high. Rangers fans know all too well what it means to wear that badge. It's not for the faint-hearted. The deal for JGA looks likely to be completed in time for the Frenchman to join his new teammates at St. George's Park, where the squad will continue their preseason preparations later this week. It's a crucial time in a build-up to the new campaign, and Russell Martin wants his group together, bonded, and locked in before the competitive action kicks off. The manager has already brought in several new faces: Lyle Cameron, Joe Rothwell, Max Aarons, Emmanuel Fernandez, and Theo Archibald. And now JGA looks set to be added to that growing list. Each of these arrivals has been carefully selected, not just for their ability, but for how they fit into Martin's system. It's a system that demands bravery, discipline, and composure on the ball. Rangers aren't just signing bodies. They're signing identities, players who can play the way Martin envisions. Meanwhile, the squad reshaping continues in other areas too. Clinton and Ciala and Leon Balogun are reportedly on the verge of loan exits, creating further space in the defensive unit. It's a clear sign that Martin wants his own stamp across the park. The days of short-term fixes and stopgaps may be over. This is a longer-term vision, one that aims to make Rangers competitive not just for a season, but for years to come. It's also no secret that Leicester City's Connor Cody remains firmly on the radar. Talks are said to be ongoing, and if Rangers can get that one over the line, it could be a real statement of intent. Cody, with his experience and leadership, would bring a whole new dimension to the defensive group. But nothing is guaranteed in this window. It's fast-moving, unpredictable, and full of twists. In attack, the uncertainty continues. Strikers CYRIEL Desires and Hamza Aigamane are both facing uncertain futures. There's been interest, there have been inquiries, but as of now, both remain part of Martin's plans. That's according to the man himself, who was quick to shut down suggestions that either player was pushing for a move. In fact, he praised Desires for his professionalism and attitude despite dealing with a niggling ankle issue. There was a bid turned down not too long ago, but Martin made it clear it wasn't close to the club's valuation. Desires is keen to get back fit and fighting for his place, and if he stays, he'll need to hit the ground running. But Rangers are also clearly exploring other options up top. The striker search has gone international. Israeli international Dor Turgeman is being closely watched, as is his Maccabi Tel Aviv teammate Osher Davida, with reports linking both players to Ibrox. And they're not the only ones. The Light Blues have also been linked with Crystal Palace. Winger Jezreel Raksaki suggesting Martin could be looking to inject more pace and trickery out wide. At the same time, Dutch defender Robin Proper looks set to head in the opposite direction, with a return to FC Twente reportedly close. It's a case of outgoings and incomings in equal measure, and that's the reality of a rebuild this big. One of the more emotional potential exits this summer involves Leon King, The young centre-back, once tipped as one of the brightest prospects to come out of the academy, appears to be on his way out. Wycombe Wanderers are said to be leading the race for his signature. At 21 years old, King has struggled to cement a place in the Rangers' first team and spent part of last season on loan at Queen's Park in the Championship. While several English clubs have been monitoring his situation, it looks like Wycombe, who narrowly missed out on promotion to the Championship, could be the ones to hand him a fresh start. It might be what he needs to reignite a career that still holds a lot of promise. King's story is a reminder that not every young talent will make the leap to regular first-team football at Ibrox, but a move down south could give him the minutes and the environment to develop without the intense spotlight that comes with playing for Rangers. He featured in the recent friendly against Club Brugge, and if the move goes through, that could well have been his final outing in light blue. It's always tough to see academy products leave, especially those who once showed so much potential. But in football, timing and opportunity are everything, and King now has a chance to write a new chapter. Back to the striker hunt, and there's another name that continues to do the rounds: Bojan Miovski. The North Macedonian forward, currently with Girona in La Liga, has had a tough debut campaign in Spain, managing just 4 goals in 21 appearances across all competitions. But Rangers are believed to be among the clubs keeping tabs on his situation. Miovski had previously been linked with Celtic before his move to Spain, and now the Glasgow Giants may be ready to rival interest from Germany, with both Freiburg and Hamburg said to be watching closely. It's clear Rangers are casting a wide net as they look for firepower. Whether Miovski fits the bill remains to be seen, but he's certainly a name to watch in the coming weeks. One of the more intriguing possibilities being floated is a move for Luc de Jong. The veteran Dutch striker, who has played for some of Europe's top clubs, including Barcelona, Sevilla, and Newcastle United, is now a free agent following the end of his contract at PSV Eindhoven. There's growing speculation that he could be tempted by a move to the Scottish Premiership. De Jong reportedly has offers on the table from Major League Soccer clubs and teams in the Middle East, but he hasn't ruled out one last European adventure. A move to Rangers, where the atmosphere is electric and the expectations are massive, could be an appealing challenge for a player in the twilight of his career. Peter Bosz, PSV's manager, has admitted to having conversations with De Jong about his future, and while he'd love to keep him in Eindhoven, it seems increasingly unlikely. The striker will sign a new deal there. This puts Rangers in a potentially strong position. If the finances and the project are right, De Jong could be persuaded. He's the kind of player who even in his mid-30s can make a huge impact. His aerial ability, physical presence, and experience in European competition would make him a valuable asset, especially for a team with ambitions of domestic dominance and European relevance. And then there's Jamie Vardy. The Leicester City legend and Premier League icon has also been linked with a surprise switch to Ibrox following the collapse of his proposed move to Genoa. Vardy, now 38, may be in the latter stages of his playing career, but the hunger and the pace that defined his game for so many years have not completely faded. Russell Martin was asked about the rumors and didn't close the door on the possibility, which only added fuel to the speculation. Vardy's experience, his knack for scoring in big moments, and his sheer work rate could make him a fascinating option in a Rangers shirt. Former Manchester United scout Mick Brown has also weighed in suggesting that the club's interest in Vardy is serious. According to Brown, the striker is at the top of Martin's wish list, ahead of other potential forward targets. If true, this pursuit could become one of the headline stories of the summer. It wouldn't be the first time Rangers have brought in a big name at the back end of their career. And with the right management, it could be another success story. The challenge, of course, will be convincing Vardy that the move to Scotland is the right one. Not just financially, but competitively. The striker market is evolving rapidly, and Rangers are right in the thick of it. Between potential signings like Miovski, De Jong, and Vardy, and the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Dezers and Igamene, this is a front line in flux. But that's what happens when a new manager comes in with new ideas and isn't afraid to make bold decisions. Russell Martin has made it clear, no one's place is guaranteed. Everyone has to prove their worth, and if the right offers come in, anyone could be moved on. That sense of urgency of competition for places is exactly what Rangers have needed. It's easy to get caught up in the glamour of potential marquee signings, but Martin's approach has been measured. While fans dream of proven names like Vardy or De Jong leading the line, the manager has balanced that ambition with practical system-fit acquisitions. Players who bring value and versatility. That blend of experience and youth is crucial. You need players who have been there, done that, and can lead by example. But you also need fresh legs energy and players who are hungry to make their mark. Martin's strategy appears to be a thoughtful one, and the board has clearly backed him. The next few weeks are going to be huge for Rangers. The preseason schedule is ramping up, and so is the pressure to finalize the squad before the competitive action begins. With European qualifiers on the horizon and a Premiership campaign that promises to be fiercely contested, there's no room for hesitation. Every deal, every decision made now will shape the trajectory of the season. Whether it's shoring up the defense with a late swoop for Connor Cody or adding real bite in attack with a forward like Miovski or Vardy, the stakes are high. But for the first time in a while, there's a real sense of clarity about the direction this club is going. Russell Martin has brought that clarity. His communication has been open, his tactical ideas transparent. Players know where they stand and fans can see a plan being put into motion. The squad isn't just being rebuilt, it's being reimagined. And as the old guard fades out, new names are stepping in with a chance to become heroes at Ibrox. For supporters, it's an exciting if nerve-wracking time. So much change brings uncertainty, but also hope. And in football, hope is everything. As the final pieces of this summer jigsaw fall into place, all eyes will be on Rangers to see how this bold rebuild translates on the pitch. There's no guarantee of instant success. There never is. But what we can say is this: Russell Martin isn't afraid to dream big. And right now he's building a team that might just be capable of making those dreams a reality. While the focus remains on incomings, the shadow of potential departures continues to linger around Ibrox. Players once considered part of the club's core are now finding themselves at a crossroads. This is especially true for those who have struggled for consistent game time over the past few campaigns. As the squad takes shape in Russell Martin's image, some tough decisions are being made behind the scenes. It's never easy letting go of players who have given their all, but football is a ruthless business when evolution is the priority. One name that has been quietly linked with a move away is midfielder Ianis Hagi. Once hailed as a creative spark with the potential to be a fan favorite, Hagi's career at Rangers has been disrupted by injury and inconsistency. Though there's still belief in his quality among sections of the support, Martin's system may demand something different. More directness, more pressing, more tempo. As the team adapts to a higher intensity style, it's only natural that players who don't perfectly fit the model could be moved on. There's been interest from clubs in Turkey and Italy, and while no official bid has been confirmed, the situation is one to keep an eye on. Another player whose future seems unclear is Scott Wright, a player with blistering pace and technical ability. Wright has had flashes of brilliance, but has never truly cemented himself as a regular starter. Under Martin, opportunities may be limited, especially with fresh attacking reinforcements arriving. There's been speculation about a possible move to the English Championship, where his style might thrive in a more transitional game. Wright's versatility has always been a strength, but in a system that demands tactical discipline and a consistent end product, his place could come under threat. And then there's the case of Ridvan Yilmaz. The Turkish left-back arrived with high expectations and flashes of real promise, but he's yet to fully make the position his own. Injuries and managerial changes have stalled his momentum. Now, as Rangers consider another left-sided option in the market, Yilmaz finds himself at a pivotal point. Does he fight for his place and adapt to Martin's expectations? Or is this the moment both parties decide it's time for a fresh start? It's a difficult call, especially considering the investment made in him. But these are exactly the sort of decisions a manager must be ruthless with during a rebuild. The new-look Rangers are being built not just with domestic success in mind, but also with a clear focus on European competition. Martin has spoken repeatedly about raising the technical level of the squad and introducing a style of play that can hold up under continental pressure. That means players must be comfortable in possession, able to think quickly, and brave enough to play through the thirds. It's not just about grit and aggression anymore. It's about control movement and composure under pressure. The players who can deliver those things will thrive. Those who can't may find themselves looking elsewhere for minutes. At the heart of all this transformation is a cultural shift. For years, Rangers have battled to find consistency in recruitment, often bringing in players who either weren't the right fit or didn't have the mental strength to succeed in the unique Glasgow environment. Martin is trying to change that. His signings so far suggest a more methodical approach, targeting players with specific profiles who align with both the tactical and psychological demands of the club. The aim is not just to build a team, but a cohesive unit that believes in the same goals, fights for the same cause, and represents the badge with pride. Behind the scenes, there's been a marked change in how the club is operating. Scouting appears more modern, more data-driven. Transfer targets are being pursued with clear intent, and deals are being moved along quicker than in previous windows. That sense of urgency has been welcomed by supporters who for too long have watched rivals outmaneuver them in the market. Now Rangers are acting decisively with a clear structure in place. The football department, led by Martin and backed by a refreshed board, seems far more unified in its decision-making process. The support from the fans, as always, will be vital. With so much change, there will inevitably be growing pains. Some results may go sideways early on, especially as the squad adjusts to a new philosophy and new teammates. But if there's one thing Rangers supporters understand, it's the long game. They've seen rebuilds before. They've endured setbacks and false dawns. This one, though, feels different, not because of the number of signings, but because of the vision that underpins it. There's a plan, a direction, and for the first time in a while, a manager who looks like he knows exactly what he wants to build. Looking ahead, preseason matches will offer more than just a chance to build fitness. They'll be the first real test of how this new group functions together. Fans will be watching closely how the defense handles pressure, how the midfield controls possession, how the forwards press and finish. It won't all come together immediately, but every game will offer clues as to how far along the process the club actually is. Martin will be demanding intensity and togetherness even in friendly matches. Standards are being raised, and that attitude needs to be reflected every time the players pull on the shirt. There's also the small matter of leadership. With several senior figures possibly leaving, there's space for new leaders to step forward. Whether it's through personality consistency or simply by setting the tone on the pitch, this squad needs players willing to take ownership. That could come from an experienced signing like Connor Cody, or it could emerge from within, someone like John Lundstrom or Jack Butland stepping into more vocal roles. What's clear is that a dressing room aligned in mentality will be just as important as any tactical blueprint Martin puts in place. So as we edge closer to the start of the new campaign, there's a sense of cautious optimism around the club. The rebuild is bold, the objectives are clear, and the pieces are starting to come together. Whether this all translates into silverware will depend on how quickly the new-look squad can gel, how the manager navigates the pressure, and whether the key players stay fit and perform. But make no mistake, this is not the same Rangers side from last season. This is a team under construction with purpose and ambition driving every move. And if they can get it right, the rest of Scottish football had better be ready. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In what's shaping up to be one of the more contentious departures from Ibrox in recent times, whispers are beginning to swirl around CYRIEL and his pointed comments following his exit from Rangers. The Nigerian forward, who joined with promise but never quite managed to cement his place as a fan favorite, didn't leave quietly, and folk in Govan are taking notice. While the details remain a bit murky, sources close to the player suggest Desairs didn't hold back when asked about his time in Glasgow. Rumblings from within the club point to strong words from the striker, criticizing the team's structure, mentality, and possibly even the leadership. One alleged quote doing the rounds claims Desairs felt he wasn't given the proper backing, and that the expectations were all out of line with the reality on the pitch. Such remarks, if proven true, are sure to ruffle feathers among the Rangers support. The striker, who found the net on several key occasions but was often under the microscope for his inconsistency, was never universally embraced by the Ibrox faithful. His departure might have passed as routine until now. There's a growing sense that not all was well behind closed doors. Some within the footballing circles are hinting that Dessa's criticisms may reflect deeper unrest within the squad. especially following a season that saw the Light Blues once again fall short of reclaiming league dominance. Managerial sources remain tight-lipped, but the mere suggestion that a former player is airing grievances about the club has only fueled speculation of wider issues. Was Désiré merely bitter about his role and performances, or was he speaking a hard truth others won't dare voice? Whatever the case, the fallout is just beginning. Rangers, ever proud and passionate, don't take kindly to being talked down by ex-players. Expect some sort of response, or at the very least, a sharpening of the atmosphere as the club looks to the future. As always in Glasgow, when the winds of change blow, they don't whisper, they howl. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.